Welcome to the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast, a place for you to find the courage you need to take the first step and every step thereafter to create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. I'm your host, health and life coach, Abby Hegney. Let's dive in. Welcome back to episode 78. This is part 2 in a series of 5 specially curated episodes that I'm bringing you before the new year to help you get a jump start on your goals. I have specifically selected each of these topics because I truly believe that taking action on these 5 things has the ability to change your habits, your weight, your confidence, and ultimately your life. And I don't want you to wait on that. I don't want you to want to wait on that. I want you to get started. I want you to go after what you want. I want you to see for yourself what you are capable of. So today we are talking about creating and honoring desire. I know that this may seem so basic, so simple. I know it may seem like common sense, and you may be questioning why I am even bringing you this topic. But I am bringing you this topic because I think this is actually a really big gap. I think this is the biggest difference between women who want to lose weight and women who do lose weight. It's the difference between women who want to change their habits and women who create the habits that they want. It's the difference between creating change and feeling stuck. And I'm specifically using the word desire because I do think that we need to desire change in order to create change. Desire is defined as a deep want, a deep longing. I think most of us want change. We want to lose weight. We want to create healthier habits. We want to feel more confident. We want to find more balance. We want our clothes to fit better. We want to feel stronger. We want to eat healthier. We want more energy. But when it comes to actually creating change, wanting it isn't always enough. It becomes more of a nice to have. It quickly falls to the back burner. We want it, but we don't have the time, we don't have the energy. We want it, but we're just not motivated. We want it, but we desire other things more. We desire easy, comfort, familiarity, instant gratification, instant reward, instant happiness. Maybe, for example, you want to lose weight, but you feel deprived if you can't eat whatever you want to eat or eat when you want it. You may want to lose weight, but you desire the comfort of eating what you want when you want it more. Or maybe you want to create an exercise routine, but every time you plan to go to the gym or get yourself moving, you choose to sit on the couch and watch Bravo instead. You may want to create an exercise routine, but what you really desire is the ease of sitting on the couch and watching Bravo. Or you may want to cook at home more, but you find yourself constantly reverting back to takeout. You may want to cook more. You may have a lot of reasons in which cooking more would benefit you. But what you really desire is the familiarity of ordering takeout. And how we know that these are your truest desires is because it's what you end up doing. And I want to call out that I recognize that you may be listening to this podcast right now and thinking, what is she talking about? I want it so badly. I have been working so hard and I'm just not seeing results. I totally get that. When I was really struggling with my body, when I wanted to lose weight, I was doing all of the things. So if I would have heard someone say, you want it, but you don't desire it, I would have been like, what the what? I would have felt very triggered by this. And that's exactly why I think this is a big gap. It's why I'm bringing this topic to you today. Like I said, I have specifically curated these 5 podcast episodes to help you break through obstacles and create the change that you want in your life. If you get started, if you implement these things, if you find how they are showing up in your life, in your journey, it could change everything. I just had a call with a client earlier this week who has been doing this exact work for the past month, and it has literally changed her life. She finally saw the gaps in her wanting versus her desire. She created the desire and has been honoring that desire for the past 4 weeks. And because of that, she has created consistency in her habits. She has changed the way that she eats because she's recognizing what works for her body and what doesn't. She has lost the weight. She's moving her body more. She's moving her body for her because of how it makes her feel. She feels happier and more confident, and she has so much more to give. So I know that you want it, but I want to help you find what's standing in your way, why you don't yet have it, especially if you are doing all of the things, especially if you are working so hard. When I think back to where I was, I wanted it. I was doing all of the things. But what I really desired was quick. I wanted things to happen fast. And when they didn't, I was on to the next. I'd start, I'd stop, I'd start all over again. I wanted the thing that would work and would work fast. Because I desired quick, I didn't get the results that I wanted because I never gave myself the time to get results. That all changed when I started to do things differently. Everything changed when I recognized what I truly desired. And what I wanted to desire, what I truly desired, was not hating my body anymore. When I desired not hating my body, I started to do things that aligned with not hating my body. At first, that was telling my inner mean girl, not today. Anytime a negative thought popped up about my body. Eventually, that evolved into treating my body with care. And the more that I took care of my body, for my body, not for a number on the scale, the more I started to care about my body. And the more I cared about my body, the more I saw my body change. And the more I saw my body change, the more I appreciated my body. And once I started to appreciate my body, then I could start to see things that I liked about my body. Over time, that turned into loving my body and wanting to see what else my body was capable of. And now it feels like my body and I are on this journey together when I used to be working so hard against it. And that change feels really good. I never could have created that from desiring quick. So, how do we actually create desire? I think that there are 3 parts to this. And I think that if you can be really honest with yourself and can identify what you think you are currently desiring, that alone is a game changer. But if you are not sure, or if you can't find where or what you may be desiring over what you really want, then go through these 3 steps. These steps will help you make that shift. And if you want help in identifying what that blocker is, what you're really desiring right now, schedule a free consultation. That's exactly what we do on that call. So let's dive into the 3 steps. The first thing I think is when you think about what you want to change, whether that is your weight, your habits, how you speak to yourself, whatever it has to become a pain point. When we think about wanting something and that wanting something becomes like a nice to have, it's because we don't see where we are or what we're doing as a big enough pain point. That's why it's so easy to make excuses. That's why we put it off, why we don't get started. It's why your inner mean girl convinces you that it's too hard or that you can't do it. The pain point becomes the process of change. And one of our innate human needs is to avoid pain and seek desire. If we believe that the process of change, the process of losing weight, of changing our habits, or creating the change that we want in our lives, if we believe the process is the pain point, we will always avoid it. So we have to start creating pain around what we want to change. When I go back to my journey, listening to my inner mean girl, beating myself up, constantly hating on and criticizing my body became more painful than the process of changing that. For many of my clients, the idea of continuing to gain weight, feeling like they have no control, thinking about what life will be like in their 80s if they don't start making the changes that they want to make, that becomes the pain. Staying where they are and seeing what choosing to stay there creates in their lives becomes more painful than finding the time, than going out for that walk that they told themselves that they would go out on, or changing the way that they eat. We have to create a level of pain where where we are and what continuing on the same path creates in our lives, while at the same time creating desire for what will create if we step into the change that we want. Thinking about what we will create if we really start to desire change leads us to the second step, which is getting excited for what we want to achieve, getting excited for the change that we want to create. I remember being excited about the idea of being someone who didn't spiral in negative self talk all of the time. I remember being excited at the thought that I could actually be like those confident women that I had always admired. I remember feeling excited about not having to watch what I ate all of the time or to not be on a quote unquote diet constantly. I remember being excited about the possibility of feeling good in my body and really being able to enjoy my life. Because for so long, I didn't believe that I could do both. And I remember when I first started my business, it was hard, harder than I thought it would be. And I don't think that I ever thought it would be easy, but I know for sure those early days were harder than I imagined. I remember feeling so frustrated, so disappointed, so upset. And I remember my husband and my coach reminding me that I chose this path. Get excited for the path that you want to choose. Get excited for the possibility of what you can create, for how good you could feel. Get excited for the process. And on the days when it feels hard, because there will be days that it feels hard. That's life, that's any journey that you're on. But on the days that it feels hard, remember that excitement. You know, if you have listened to me, if you have followed me, you know that I love my Peloton workouts. The other day, I chose to do an intervals ride. I always do a harder intervals ride on Tuesday mornings. And during the ride this week, the instructor said, now is about the time when you probably want to quit. Remember why you started. You didn't choose this ride for easy. Nobody chooses an interval ride for easy. Remember why you are here. Remember why you are excited. Nobody chooses change because it's easy. Easy is continuing to sit on the couch. Easy is continuing to listen to your inner mean girl. Easy is continuing down the same path you've been on. Change requires more of you, which takes me to the third step, which is to really honor your desires, to start doing things that actually align with what you desire. Telling yourself that you want to lose weight, but then sitting on the couch with a box of cookies watching Bravo when you plan to go to the gym is not honoring your desire. Even if you desired having a lot of money, but you didn't want to work for it, you would have to go out and buy lottery tickets and keep buying lottery tickets until you win, or you're not desiring or you're not honoring what you want. You're not honoring wanting to have a lot of money that you don't want to work for. Anything that you desire in your life requires you to take aligned action. If you want to change your habits, you have to start showing up in alignment with the habits that you want to create. If you want to lose weight, you have to start taking steps that align with losing weight. If you want to feel more confident, you have to start doing things that make you feel confident. Sitting around, talking yourself out of it, making excuses, putting off what you want, taking the easy, comfortable, quick, familiar route, wanting it to be happening faster than it's happening, giving up too soon is not honoring your desires. It will never create the change that you want. It will work against you because it will build your belief that you can't do it, that it's not possible, that you don't have the time or the energy or the motivation or that nothing works. That's exactly what your inner mean girl wants you to believe. But honoring your desire quiets that voice. It builds evidence that you can, in fact, do it. It builds confidence that you will do it. It creates consistency, which builds momentum. And within that momentum, you build motivation. Motivation that carries you on the good days and lifts you up on the hard ones. And when you can find motivation, even on the hard days, that's a game changer. This is what the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl method is all about. It's why it's a game changer for my clients. This is the work that they do, the work that creates the results that they want when everything else they tried didn't work. I want this to be a game changer for you too. I want you to deeply desire the change that you want to create. I want you to deeply desire the confidence that you want to feel when you've lost the weight, the flow of your days when you've created a better routine for yourself, the happiness you feel when you've built better habits, and the life that you will be living when you look back with pride and think, I did that, or I'm doing it. Create the desire, get excited for it, and honor that every single day with aligned actions. All right, my friends, I will be back with part 3 of this series next week. If you are loving this podcast, please subscribe, rate, or review. Or if you know someone who would benefit from this message, please share it with them. And if you are ready to quiet your inner mean girl, to create habits that make you feel amazing, to lose weight and confidently keep it off while living the life that you love, I invite you to schedule your complimentary 60-minute consultation. We'll discuss where you are, where you want to be, and how my Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl method can help you create the future that you want. You can find the link to book your call in the show notes, or you can also connect with me directly on Instagram at Wellness with Abby H. I can't wait to talk to you.